All right. Let's make it a quick video. We could make a quick recap of the week, the 2 weeks. Um, I think a lot of things that happened. Mainly um, mainly the return of breaking new all-time highs. Um, you can see that the stock market has recovered, and it has well beyond broke the all-time highs. But everything is still uncertain. A lot of things are just not making quite a lot of sense. We're still living in high geopolitical uncertainty. The Strait of Hormuz is still blocked, and the stock market rallied because of hopes of a ceasefire, but still, somehow, oil is still well above $90, close to 100. It seems like it will rebound. So it seems like it's up for a rebound now. So, yeah, I mean, they tried to sell oil, tried to push it lower 90, but let's see how it goes today. So when it comes to yeah, I mean, yeah, and people have been buying in hopes of if a reversal. So the Nasdaq has I think it's the outlier here. Many people are also saying that there's going to be um, rate cuts. This might be also one of the reasons why there's an expectation that things going to get better for the financial markets. But still, the economy does not really reflect the financial market. The financial economy does not really. The stock market does not really reflect the whole economy. There's a lot of inflation reports that showing cracks in the economy, unemployment, etc. So there's quite some warning signs in the economy. Yet we saw this huge climb. So um, but it looks like it looks just like a short squeeze kind of climb. That's how short squeezes are, just perpetual, like not like unceasing climb higher, just taking shorts out. That's what it is, basically. So let's see how it goes. I think it's been pretty exhausting. I think pretty exhausting for bulls. Um, but it's been very controversial ever since Monday. It has pumped nonstop, basically. All these 3 days. Um, it's been pretty controversial. Everyone has their own opinion on it. Um, and yeah, I think it was just ceasefire. You know, hopes of ceasefire. A lot of like candles, big candles, because of ceasefire hopes, etc. So yeah, I mean that's how it is right now. The market, many people are calling scam market. People are really taking it back, are calling manipulation, etc. So we just have to wait and see how this this uh, this pump turns out. Um, but it seems like there might be a reversal in the works. Right now, we are on the 1 minute candle. We are cooling down. It seems like the Nasdaq stocks found a more or less like a temporary, like a local top, and we can go from there. Um, Seems like it's selling. It hasn't sold. We have not seen a consistent selling, a strong selling ever since like Monday. So this might be a cool off that we've been waiting. It also coincided with the rise of oil again. So I don't know. We have to, this week's we have to stick to the keep watching the news for signs on the conflict, whether it just continues or not. Just gotta keep being updated to it. So yeah, I mean that's my opinion. I think that we are due for a drop. Um, ideally, ideally we will be looking for 72. Um, I think we are on. Just look at this. Hasn't been able to make higher highs. So I think we are overdue for a sell-off, for a little bit of a pullback, and I think it will fall just consistent with this upside trend. And I mean, it all depends of the news. It all depends of whether the ceasefire goes into effect or whether they reach an agreement on the peace deal. We're heavily dependent on that right now. But the bullish structure is there. Just you gotta make sure that that the price action respects this bullish structure and does not go lower, right, for a continuation upward. So that's a take right now. There's a lot of things going on. I also want to talk about how just basically equities like reached broke new all-time highs while Bitcoin is still ranging between the 75, 80, 76,000, and just overall have not been able to um, go further than that, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I think 76 was the last, just look here, was the last final boss to be beaten, and it kind of just tapped it, So it's not a very good sign, you know what I mean? So, but again, just I want to say that this correlation between Bitcoin and equities, these equities, just you can see that there's a whole lot of more money in here, and Bitcoin is still just ranging on these very low levels. It just shows that interest in Bitcoin and crypto in general just is just not as it was before. It's just people just lost confidence. There's an overall loss of confidence in the crypto wide markets. Like, just think about it. I mean, the equities just broke out some highs, and Bitcoin is still ranging on just like range lows, like 75,000. Something just not clicking really. Something's not make sense. Something's going wrong, you know. So I think we're still definitely in a crypto bear market. I feel like a lot of people are still distrusting Bitcoin and just not um, trusting it anymore any longer as it used to be. So yeah, I mean, just have to be aware of that, you know, and and clearly see that people overall are not that risk on, and you could say you could even fade this, you know what I mean? Because people are not. If they were risk on, if they were, we could have seen, we would have seen like a violent rupture here because just like we saw that 76 was just literally the final boss before just like the violent move upward, and you just didn't do that, So you just gotta be cautious, you know. People are just not people are just not trusting Bitcoin anymore. People are just not ready to jump back in again, like because of whatever Binance and whatever happened to October 10th. People are just not over it yet. So that's what I would say. That's what I would do this week. I would say just adopt like a wait and see strategy now that Nasdaq is like wildly reacted so rationally, and people are just calling scam over this. People are calling like all sort of things. People are just, I mean, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense considering there's still a war going on and the economy is not really um, healthy in a way. So it's just a lot of like FOMO and just artificial. I don't think it's like a long-lasting, sustainable um, continuation. So just gotta be careful. Careful for just like a classic, it's like a classic short squeeze. So just gotta be careful. Just take it easy, and yeah, just gonna adopt a wait and see tactic. And we are well over the range lows on oil and as well as dollar. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, and yeah, just take it easy.